whatever milestones that Black people make against hate, it ends up benefiting all the other people of color. I can't see what his end game is. The Republican Party is the party of racism, is the party of white supremacy, is the party of hate. This is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Everybody wants to go back and drag that piece of history up, but they don't want to go back and deal with what their ancestors did to the indigenous people and to Black people in this country. You got to go. And you got billionaires talking about going to space and Jeff Bezos, go, never come back. I hope you get lost. This man has lost his mind.
Boom! Come on, girl. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, I host the only online conversation in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Hey, it's the last day of April. Where is April gone? Where is the year gone? Like, tomorrow is May 1st, people. Can you believe it? It's just like flying. And here in Toronto, we haven't had 3 or 4 good days of good, consistent spring weather. Like, today was nice. It was about 50, 55 degrees. It was about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I went out, cut the lawn, did some stuff, but it's going to rain now for the next 3 days. Go figure. But, you know, some people don't think climate change exists. I beg to differ, but let's get it on. It's another Saturday night, and no better place to be than with 2 outstanding ladies, Aisha K. Staggers and Jill Jones. What's going on?
Hey.
What's been going on?
Oh gosh, so much. It has just been a really busy week for me, work-wise. But other than that, I kind of had to tune out some of this nonsense, the craziness, because the more the Republican Party spreads all this propaganda, the more I realize that people just are out of their minds, left and right.
So best size, right?
Yeah, I need to get away from the insanity. So I spent one day after work and just like chilled out. But yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Yes, happy belated to your mom. And you were telling us you and your sister went out and got a special gift.
Yeah, we my mom needed a new bed, so we took her bed shopping.
Nice. Very nice. That is good stuff. Well, happy belated to Aisha's mother, Jill Jones, where there's still light in the planet, right? What's going on, Jill? You're on mute.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, it's still sunny here. I mean, it's, very nice to have a little bit of light.
Good.
That red looks nice on you.
How's the week? How's your week been? Actually, I got a very interesting question for you too. We're not including in our conversation topic, but I gotta ask you something after you tell us how your week's been.
My week was okay. I mean, yeah, and I can't really complain. So yeah, the weather's been pretty decent, so no complaints here.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a name of someone. 2 words. Boris Becker.
Oh, Boris Becker, yeah. I mean, I didn't know that Djokovic had wanted to lend him $10 million or something, and he wouldn't take it. So, it's too bad. Yeah.
So the reason why we bring Boris Becker out, and some people may remember, one time a great tennis player. Who is he?
Coach.
Yeah.
He was coaching Djokovic at one point.
Yeah.
Djokovic wanted to loan him $10 million.
Yeah, because he's in. I don't know. I only read it brief. I don't know what sort of financial challenges in, but he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison now.
Mm-hmm. It was for his bankruptcy. They don't think that he revealed everything in his bankruptcy, declared everything. So I guess
Wow.
that's a soft spot, you know.
Mm,
And it
mm.
makes it so difficult in this age. We have other people who've done some really amazingly horrible, horrific things that aren't even going at all to jail. So it's very hard for me to process that.
Yeah, that
They
one
say
caught.
he probably won't do the whole time, but still in all, it's like you look and see that, Bezos is worth 181 billion and Elon Musk is 273 billion. Zuckerberg is 76 million billion, and none of them pay taxes. It's like I'm just like, what the fuck is the point? Why should anybody be in jail anymore for not paying taxes? I don't get it. I don't get
Yeah.
it. I think they should actually just let people pay what they want to now, because that seems to be the beauty of it. That seems to be where we're rocking these days. And if the shit falls apart enough that somebody feels that they should cough up a little bit because a bridge fell through, then maybe we'll see how it goes. But you know what? I don't get it anymore. What's the point of even having laws in the country anymore? I don't get it. Why should we?
Hmm.
Then we
Aisha.
don't need lawyers. So why should we do it anymore? What are we pretending to have a a lifestyle that really is just to oppress people who have less money than the elites, than the rich do? Is that what the laws are for? Regular people? It is such a feudal system going on. The Silicon feudal. It's, they're all like, they
Mhm.
did that, didn't they? The monarchy of all these fights going on, by the way, it's the rich being upset about, the other rich. And I can't believe it,
Well, the big problem that we have in this country, and I said it on Twitter, is that uh, we're a country that's made up of countries. It's like every
Yeah.
state, every state
Is its own
operates
country now.
almost like its own country. So
True.
that's why we have these federal set of laws, and then states can have their own laws. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, but no, we're on one continent, just like Europe, with three countries. So,
Doesn't feel
so
like
this country that we have should not be divided up like that. There's no reason for it.
it's
Gotcha.
okay if they keep getting any richer. The decision will be made for everybody very
Hmm.
quickly. If it keeps going the way it's going,
Mm.
none of those laws will mean a goddamn thing. Sorry. And really, it will be about who's the richest person in the world, who they say, by the way, is Putin. Um, so it will be the winner takes it all.
It's an old. The winner takes it all. It's an old ABBA song.
The winner takes it
There
all.
you go. There you go. There you go. Got it. Got it. Got it. Well, we always try to make musical references here. So these days I'm just tuning everything like, what's the song that can apply this? Song can be applied this with the winner takes it all? And they actually they released a new album the last 2 or 3 years, like a
Yeah,
reunion album.
and they did it in a really interesting way. Abba did, where isn't it all AI or something?
I
It's something very like they didn't
I
even go to the studio. It's so
Oh wow.
bizarre. Two of the guys aren't. It's very interesting how they did the last record.
yeah.
It's unique, and it is kind of the future of music too, because even that's in the gutter, even that's in
Well,
the toilet.
I guess our
We're just around to appeal and be entertainment for the elites, so they can laugh.
So,
That's
as
what
you
we're here
see,
for.
folks, Jill is already in fine form, and we're not even 10 minutes in.
That's all we're on this planet for, to entertain these, very insecure men.
So, Aisha, Jill should have a one-woman show.
I don't
Why are you
know.
laughing, Aisha? You know it would work.
Yeah. I actually yesterday got the alert about the show you guys did when I had my tooth pulled,
Yes.
Hmm.
and I was watching it when it like premiered yesterday. So I was the only person in the comments.
Yes, I
So you go
saw.
down and you'll see all my comments.
I got them all. Thank you for
Uh,
watching.
I
Thank you
didn't
so
get an
much.
alert,
No, it
but
was
I
it
got
was
your text. Thank you.
you got my text though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It was so funny.
Well,
Um,
yeah, and we did it a few weeks ago, folks. Go check out the channel. Jill and I were gonna just hang out for like
Spitballing.
10 to 15 minutes, and it almost end up being two hours just
Yeah.
going on it.
mhm.
So do check it out. So again, as always, subscribe to my Facebook or YouTube page. You'll get notified when new conversations like this one come on. Well, you know what, everyone? Let's get down to some facts. Well, let's always do
Okay.
roll
Okay.
call.
All righty.
Hello, Jen. Welcome. Welcome, Cinema. And Boris was amazing. Saying about Boris Becker.
Totally amazing.
Yeah, he originated remember his dives at Wimbledon?
Yeah.
He was fun.
He's a phenomenal player.
Yeah,
I love Boris Becker.
power and grace. He had he
Totally.
was Boom Boom Becker. Used to call him Boom Boom Becker. And
True.
Blue Rains, welcome. All right, let's get down to it. We got lots to cover tonight. So let's start with this one. The upcoming January 6th insurrection televised hearings. Is that worth anything anymore? Aisha, you wanted to bring this one up. Talk to us.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. It's like if it's only going to be this milk toast delivery of information, don't bother. Don't waste people's time. If you're going to do this and you're saying, oh, there's some really big, you need to bring it. Okay, it's like stop pussyfooting around all this stuff. And I just I wonder if it is going to make a bit of difference because Democrats aren't really known very well for their messaging.
But
So
I know
none of these softball questions because they're interviewing their own members.
I can see by Jill's body language what I think I'm going to hear, the tone that we're going to get. Jill, what are your thoughts?
I think that it's certainly, it feels like a Palm Olive moment for me, like meaning that it's like an advertising moment. It's now a way to get a return on the investment. I don't know. They should have been televising it from day one, just so that I don't know, to inundate people with it every single day. I think that there should have always have been the opportunity for people who are interested in what was happening in our country on a civic level to actually be able to participate and look in. I mean, maybe I'm a firm believer that some of it would not have gone amiss and over people's heads. Mm-hmm. That being said, I don't even know the strategy anymore. I know that, if Democrats lose the House, that they can call it a wrap.
Yeah, it's
and this is really like absolutely the insanity about how they're trying to even defend this. Most people don't want to talk about it. I've mentioned this before when we talked about the Nuremberg trials, that even after that heinous time, they had a cutoff period for that. Even at The Hague, they know when to cut it off because people don't want to hear any more dogma. They don't want to hear about it. It's happened before. So they didn't hear, the galloping of the horses that said, do this very fast, do it quickly, and do it expeditiously. They just don't get it. And they probably never will. I don't know what to say.
I just don't want another Robert Mueller hearing.
We're going to get that because the people they think they're going to have show up, they won't show up. Why would they?
That's my whole thing. I want that. I don't want that because even when Mueller put these things out, they still did nothing about it.
No, all it shows to me is that they put a black man in charge of the committee, but they don't let him do anything. That white people are laughing at him right and left. They don't take the subpoena seriously. They clown him. Why is it that the moment that white people decide to turn the baton over to us as black people, they did it with Obama and the whole freaking country was collapsing. And then they always clown us. They clown us with the stuff that they don't want to go out and do the dirty work on. They won't even send officers or sheriffs to pick up these motherfuckers. It's like, I'm sorry to be so blatant, but they don't. And he just looks like a fucking clown. Every time he's saying we're going to have people televised. And I can already imagine what these folks are saying. They don't take him seriously. And this is not a good placement for an African-American man, for a Black man in America.
Well,
they
no.
need to give him some power to throw some people behind some bars for a change.
Go ahead, Aisha.
Well, the thing is that the person that is the head of this commission, he is actually a really astute statesman. And that is the sad part about it, because when you sit and you listen to, how he talks, how he runs the meetings, how things happen, I think that just really from the Democratic Party, the party apart from this commission is not doing what they need to be doing to support them. It would be like, I'm sorry, we're at a point now where propaganda is selling. We need to create our own and just keep pounding it at people, because that seems to be the only thing that people believe. It's like you can't even get people to believe the things that they see.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal how it's being done. But Russia won that. And
they'll win it again, too, if we're not careful.
Yeah, they will.
But with as partisan as politics are in America, what is going to be achieved by these hearings?
Nothing.
That's
but the goal should be that if you don't come here to tell the truth, I'm going to send some sheriffs to pick your ass up. End of story, right? Number one, that should be what the game is about. It actually shouldn't even be about, it's about, I am the authority. And when I say for your ass to dance, you freaking dance. That's what this should be about. But they want to make it like we're looking for people to come and tell the testimony. Ain't nobody going to be telling you the right testimony. They're going to be lying. It's called
I don't think that they're even thinking.
They don't even think. But it's like the point here is show how it works. You don't show up, you get thrown in jail for contempt of court. End of story. Why is that difficult?
It happens to everybody every day. I don't think that they're really going for that truth thing as much as they're trying to go for the shock and awe moment. They have the balls to do X, Y, and Z. That's the only way that I see it. Are you going for the shock and awe?
But then all they're getting is how Trump is like, well, we clown them. No, clowning, and for the Dems to clown him would be to send a car and pick somebody up and throw them in jail. End of story. And okay, if you don't want to do a former president, fine. But these other people aren't former presidents. Why is Matt Gaetz still walking around? Hello? His 10 people's houses would have been raided by now for their freaking things on their computers. Are you kidding me? And I'm supposed to go and think, and then remember, no. It's going to be another clown car situation because the Democrats always tell you what their plans are. Stop it. Stop. Just do it. Make it happen. As Tim, whatever his name was in Project Runway said, make it work. Just do it. Don't be telling people their egos are so out of check. Sometimes they always got to be up there trying to tell people what they're trying to do. Just do it. Well, it's terrible.
The thing is that Trump should already be in jail because the moment that they discovered he took White House documents out of the White House, that is clearly in the Constitution. Okay. Why is he still walking free? I mean, hell, all they had to do was give him a colonoscopy because he was eating the paper.
It's so true. I know. So true.
Oh gosh, after hearing that read, Aisha, now I believe Jill even more that when they're on the phone with each other, it's Aisha that's out of order.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that is a bomb for one of the all times. We got to make sure we get that on the clip. That is vintage.
I know.
That is a vintage. Our new audio video editor Laura, make sure you get that as a clip. She's watching in the green room. She's nodding her head. She's got her thumb up. We're gonna make sure that goes on. Oh, jeez.
But it's really it's very, very nothing's going to be accomplished
gosh.
because they've lost the American people. They've lost the American people.
Dr. Vibe is still laughing.
I know, right?
What? All right, now this is now gonna be Jill's fun, unless the result is Merrick Garland waking up from his Rip Van Winkle slumber and charging in, jailing the true perpetrators.
Well, you know what?
There's some Congress a waste of time.
That is so funny because the other day I tweet somebody had a post that said something similar, and I tweeted, I was like, you know what? Merrick Garland's gonna die before they charge Donald Trump. That's what it looks like. It's like, dag, that's the kind of time they're taking.
Yeah, I think that Merrick Garland is you're banking on the wrong
dude.
You just can't expect anything, because basically they run out the clock even on certain areas, like even in New York. The clock is run, and we will see what happens after this weekend, which is pretty critical. And just across the board, it's been a real disappointment. And, I'm all for Ukraine and everything, and everybody knows my heart has been there. But every time I turn on the freaking TV and we're giving another $330 billion to Ukraine and all this other motherfucking shit, I can't handle it.
Well, now here's another interesting sidebar conversation. Maybe we'll do this because one of the things we're planning to do, family, who's watching live on replay, we're going to start doing some 15-minute shows and making them available for members. Down the road. But how many billions of dollars have been given to the Ukraine, right?
Almost $1 trillion.
But we can't solve hunger.
Right. And we have homeless people here. I mean, my whole point from get-go was take a chance, get rid of Russia's situation. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, then we're going to get nuked. But what else do we have to look forward to? Tell me how great it is to be alive right now in the world. What's so great about it?
What's the point in not trying?
Yeah, and what's so great about everything? People actually live in freaking drain tunnels in Nevada right now. I know someone who's doing an interview with somebody. They have set up homeless people in the drainage where the drains are, sewage waste. What are we doing? Is this a planet worth saving anymore? Is it? Because it doesn't seem like anybody really gives a damn. And, as far as Twitter with Elon Musk,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I mean, we're going to get to that.
The big question is it a planet worth saving? Shouldn't we have just tried? Shouldn't we have just tried to take the man out?
So, look, when you said sewage, I thought about it's probably where Donald Trump's papers are.
It's really sad because we have millions of people, and it's going to get worse.
Well, so here's someone on a call this week said to me, Dr. Vibe, all these millions and billions of dollars given to the Ukraine, and America can't give any money for reparations for Black Americans.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aisha's right about the states handling it. Even if the feds wanted to give money for the reparations, the states wouldn't give it. Now, California's giving it to their Black people, and a few other states have been, even local communities have been preparing to do it. Okay. But that is something that is not a federal decision. People need to start electing properly in their states. But you can't ask for something when you never show up to vote. Sorry, it's pretty damn clear who's showing up to vote and who isn't.
Yeah. But, here's the thing about it. The states are, they get to get in like the little fights and things about things. There are some things that we have in this society that should not be decided by the states. Number one, voting rights. That should not be a by-state thing. We have separate voting rights laws in one country for
every state, which
every state
makes no sense.
That's not the United States. That's a divided states.
It makes absolutely no sense. And then, we're also a country that has had a civil war where one half of the country wanted to get away from the other half because they still wanted to own people.
And they never
And
got
so,
over it.
and they never got over it. And so, I mean,
All right. Let just some comments here. So Cinema saying, Jill, this planet is beautiful. It is the humans that need to be extinct.
True, but even if a nuclear bomb went off globally, the planet would still survive it. It would
Yeah,
just
it
take a
is
while
us.
for everything
She's
to come back.
yeah,
We
my,
wouldn't.
my daughter
she's
was
saying it is
watching
us
some movie
humans.
where somebody brought back dinosaurs and the dinosaurs made humans go extinct. They
Well,
came back, like they had like the DNA and they made a dinosaur, and then the dinosaurs wiped out the human race.
no, people don't even believe that a virus is what killed actual dinosaurs.
Mm.
You know, we've got too much.
So we're watching a virus kill 1 million people, right?
Yeah, people
Oh,
just don't have it. They're not up to snuff anymore.
all right. Let's move to our next conversation. Mark Meadows. This gentleman seems to just get himself in deeper and deeper
Crazy.
doo-doo.
Yeah.
Aisha, talk to us.
Well, it was this one, like they released a few, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, but there was this one in particular set of texts that was ultra disturbing, is his conversation with Sean Hannity, right? Hannity is you have a, it's not even a news show, you have a comedy show host trying to set policy. That's mind blowing.
Hold on,
And the pres-
you're regarding Sean Hannity as a comedy show host?
mm-hmm. And so
Why?
I mean,
Why?
it's not news. What else is it?
Yeah, it's not news. It's actually, he's not qualified to be
No,
an actual
he's
journalist.
he's not even a journalist.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize if you can hear music in the background.
It's all right.
One of my neighbors is
so what's gonna, we keep on asking, Meadows is gonna live through this, isn't he?
well, yeah, and here's the thing is that first of all, he's gonna, if anybody goes to jail out of this insurrection thing, it's gonna be him. He's going to be
It's not gonna
scapegoated.
happen.
He's
It's not
going to
gonna
be
happen.
no, they're going to do that. He's going to be scapegoated to shift people's eyes away from the real problems.
I don't think he's going to go. I don't think anybody's going to go. I think they're going to take a few that are going to testify, like the Proud Boys. They're going to blow them up and show them flipping when they do the on
No,
televised
Mark Meadows
thing.
isn't testifying. I'm just saying that with these
that's not a surprise,
right. No, he was because remember, he was agreeing at first and then he stopped cooperating, but he left them with all these texts, right? And as they keep going through them, more stuff keeps coming out. So the last round of it was that Sean Hannity gave Mark Meadows a list of things to do. In what country does a comedy show host get to tell the president what to do?
Jill, I think Aisha's fired up tonight.
I mean, we can't say too much. We got to remember Zelensky is a comedian, so you know
but look,
an actor, comedian.
But he's ironic on purpose.
I don't think anything is going to happen with Mark Meadows. I don't think anybody tunes in, and I don't think that anybody cares. I sure don't.
Well, but here I think something will, because from what I heard from some news sources was that Mark Meadows wanted a get out of jail free card when handing things over, and when they wouldn't.
He got it. What part of this is he sitting in jail telling us all this stuff?
but when
then I would be interested, but I'm not interested in somebody.
That's the thing. When he wouldn't deal is when he wouldn't deal. The deal was that he would get 0 time, and they were like, no. And he backed out.
I just don't believe that he had that much negotiating leverage. And the question is, why would he? At this point, those documents and all conversation and all representation while they were serving a public office belongs to us as the taxpayer. Your time, our dimes, okay? And we get to see what the hell you've been doing. Nothing was taken care of properly. If anything, he should just be thrown into jail for 30 days for mismanagement and hiding all communication, all of that stuff for not doing the job properly. This is ridiculous. It's absurd that he even had room to leverage. And like I said, the insurrection is a clown show. That what they've got going on now, they are making too much of a big production out of having a production. Number one, that is always doomed to fail. Trust me, they're hyping it way too much because they won't be able to deliver.
I mean,
it's like a dude who stuffs his pants with socks, and you're sitting there waiting and waiting, and then it comes and you go, oh my God, what is that? This wasn't anything.
Oh, God.
That's how I feel about the Democrats and their committees. I'm so fed up. Sorry, guys.
You got to look, but see, two things are going on at the same time with this, because it all really boils down to what is Merrick Garland going to do? Because remember, Congress, no, but it's true. Congress can have these hearings, but Congress does not have.
Why did you just fire up Jill? Why did you just fire up Jill? Why did you just?
Because now I'm like wondering.
But it is the truth, because Congress can't file criminal. They can't charge someone. That's not.
That's what I'm saying. That somebody can push their seat, but somebody can push their seat back, get up, and make a beeline over to the Department of Justice and say, "What the F are you doing, man?" And how about, and somebody, if that doesn't work, then you go. They can Karen it all the way, okay? Karen this stuff. Take it to the president. This is somebody that's not even really doing their job, one way or the other. The reality is, let's just make up a game. What's the first thing that Merrick Garland does when he comes into the office in the morning? Probably gets a cup of coffee. I mean, he's got
his cane.
Yeah. Seriously, what does anybody do over there anymore? I think they sit there, they talk around the cooler, probably not come in at all. We could just play a game of get some donuts. Then it's lunchtime, walk downstairs, go through security, come back in. And how do you kill and blow a whole day at the Department of Justice doing absolutely zero and still get paid? You just become Merrick Garland.
I mean, this is something that I text to Jill directly, was that he just doesn't have the temperament of an attorney general. That's why people hated Eric Holder.
His best moments are behind him. Yeah, they're done. That Oklahoma thing they keep us hanging on, that was freaking, 40 years ago? 40 years ago with the Oklahoma bombing. Dude, okay, you prosecuted that. Are we going to still live on your laurels of yesteryear? Get over it.
But the role of attorney general requires a very aggressive person. Like I said, that's why they hated Eric Holder. That's
why they gave him a
hated Janet Reno, and
I love Janet Reno.
Yeah, so it requires somebody who's very aggressive, and Merrick Garland just doesn't have the temperament.
No, I think that they gave him a lobotomy. They freaking Francis him like that movie.
No, this is actually what it's like, right? You're up for a big job, right? But it falls through. Your big job, like Supreme Court, but it falls through. And they say, but we have a lesser job here. We'll give you this job as a consolation prize.
Yeah, but that actually, he should have been on the Supreme Court. He's more, his temperament is probably built better for that than this job. Because he's just not, it's like, this is like agony. And I just want to say this to anybody who's running for office, and how dare you all in the Democratic Party keep sending us things to donate to your campaigns, when the reality is we gave everything in the 2020 election. And now we're so far dicked down that we have no choice but to try to pull ourselves up. And you want us to send you money? How dare you? You haven't delivered, a couple of little bills, a couple of things that you're going to throw in towards the end. That's fine. The little monies, they help for a bit. But the problem is, who do these Democrats think they are when they're coming around here? They're not delivering anything, because the reality is.
But Jill, let me interrupt. because the federal government is set up the way it is.
Mhm.
The House is by the Democrats. I mean, the House, yeah, and then just the way things are, it's so partisan. It's impossible to get things
I don't
done.
buy that. They don't have any friends. They don't have any dirt on some of their donors. They don't
Well,
have stuff on people. It's
no,
a
here's
phone
the
call.
problem. It all boils.
It's like, but how dare you ask us to bail you out one more time? Somebody should have been saying, hey, I sat up here and looked at, there's a guy running in Pennsylvania who is a QAnon guy. They gave him a sword yesterday as if, he was in came straight out of Camelot, the book. And he's ahead. Get this.
Yeah.
He's ahead in the polls.
Yep.
There's a big, scary thing that's about to occur here. And I just don't know if all this it's okay. Easy breezy is not it. They failed us. They have failed us in a big way because they're not delivering the punches. You cannot continue to watch a boxing match, and keep rooting and believing when the punches are so weak. You can't. There's a part that happens that you start to go, oh, we're about to get screwed. And this is really about, and I better figure out how I'm going to pay my bet off. No, it's not cool. It's not cool that they've delivered the barest minimum and have been claiming that they've done the most. Yeah, okay, so the economy's doing fabulous as they claim. But how the hell has that fixed me? I'm still looking at 3 billionaires who don't pay taxes.
Well, here's the main problem. It's really not even anything you said, Jill. It is the fact that we need to have our Constitution updated. And the first thing that needs to be updated is that House members need a 3-year term. Because what ends up happening is they spend 1 full year running.
Yeah, but Aisha, that's neither here nor say. That doesn't solve anything. That we can't even get our feet good in the door. They're not even, our boots aren't even wet.
But, I'll tell you this though.
So frustrating.
But I'll tell you this though. Having worked in politics and gone through the part of actually passing a bill, it doesn't work as fast. The whole process doesn't work as fast as people think it does, because there are the rules governing how things go is thousands of pages.
But I think we know that part of it. I don't think it's too much to ask for a little bit more. There's just something really off with our party and our messaging, for sure.
But I think also go ahead. Sorry.
But essentially, I think it needs to we need to bring back civic education.
No, but then also just accepting the fact that maybe young people, they got over with the whole thing, and now young people have turned away from the Democratic Party. And that too may be something that we're going to have to live with the death of that. Maybe it is I said the other day about abortion rights. Maybe it's just the new generation wants a different kind of thing happening. And if that's what it is, then my old ass can go somewhere and sit down or move away. Because clearly the young people in America want an authoritarian leadership, or they're willing to not jump into politics and learn and get their own civics education. They're so hell-bent on staying on their phones and more conspiracy theories and, being slothful and,
But isn't that the problem though? Because they're so used to having things automated and fast and digital through the phone.
But that's not going to change, Aisha.
But wait a second. It was that, but we're operating the country on something that was written in the 1700s.
Yeah,
the process to get something through that should be. You think it would be fast because we would have updated the laws to do so. But for example, I was working on a policy years ago, right? The law that I needed to refer to was from 1793. Why are we still using that? Why is that still the law?
There's no way that we can even get in there. Like I said, our boots aren't even wet. There are judges now holding this shit down because Trump put judges in the 9th district or the 9th, that is crazy. That is a very important district of judges. And what do? How's anything going to change? You put people in for life. These are, yes, we know that those are steps that's going to be taken, but until you start delivering some other stuff here for
But that's the
active
problem
change,
I'm saying is that you can't deliver because the
well, then I guess
process.
it's just doomed.
But
Then I
listen, the
guess it's
process
just
is
doomed.
so no,
Why
but the
bother?
process is so antiquated. I have had to walk a bill through from the very beginning to being signed into law. The process of it, all the little things that you have to do and hurdles you have to jump are there deliberately so that things don't change. That is the biggest problem that we have, is that the process is so long.
I don't
We
think
need to
it's
get the
just the
process.
process. I
Well,
think it's
Jill, it
also,
really is. It really is. It's like you go to one turn and you say, "Oh, okay, I'm here. I think I'm getting close." And they're like, you have to do this and this and this." For example, we have to rewrite this part in a specific language for this legislative
yeah,
government that American people
but
can't
the
read.
reason they
And
don't want to change it is because it interferes with how long their tenure is in these positions. Most of the people who would be helpful in reconstructing it still have dreams of staying in as long as Dianne Feinstein is in. You know what I'm saying? It's like there would have to be a real selfless act coming in to the fray when you're talking about restructuring the Constitution so it benefited all and not just the few. That's a big problem and
so
a big ask from a party of total white supremacists, meaning the Republicans, and then and what, to change things so that it would benefit people of color too, and women and women's bodies. Oh my God, no! If that's the case, we should all just go and go get a boat and go live somewhere else, because I don't ever see it changing here.
but here is again, like I said, it is the process. Here's the thing that's going on in my state right now. My job, we support different pieces of legislation related to climate justice and things like that. And so
And they're
um,
never going to do anything about climate justice. Now it's just going to be a
we've
name.
passed two bills, but here's the
But it
problem.
doesn't mean that it's going to save the planet.
But here's
It
the
doesn't
problem.
matter.
But
It's
here's the
done.
problem, Jill. The problem is that um, our state decided this session was going to be a short one. So they had 3 months to pass a stack of bills. We know that majority of them aren't going through because there just isn't enough time. Usually the session um, goes like through like June or something. We had a short session this year. There was nothing you could get done because we were still dealing with things from the last session, and those things were pushed forward. So it is that little nuance of, okay, you just why did you decide to have a short session when you know you can't get anything done?
Right.
Oh, you're referring to this. Why are we not changing that law? Because I think our biggest our biggest problem is that we live in a country that has a government that allows the individuals to govern the country individually. That's this whole thing with me hating the fact that we have state laws versus federal laws, because it makes no sense. Oh, you know what, you don't know what to do. It's like people, for example, like what's going down in Florida right now with Ron DeSantis and all these bills. That anti-woke bill had me puzzled the other day, and I'm thinking, okay, they want to go that route. So you have a teacher teaching a book on the Confederacy. So why doesn't a black parent go and say, hello, this is hurting my child's feelings to see their ancestors in chains? And then, and it would flip on them, and then the law would become useless to them. But it is just how we are set up that is the biggest problem. And
I
I've
don't think
always
it's
been
going to flip on them.
Okay.
I think they want everybody, every black child in this country, to see their ancestors in chains with them behind. That's what they call when they're talking about the Confederacy.
All
Oh, I
right.
think so.
Let's move it on just to catch up with comments. Tiffany D says the process is an issue for sure. Also says that would be a major undertaking. Treat upon, I hope I get that's your name right. The process is an issue, but they seem to be able to fast track bills when they want. Tiffany D says that is a good point, and also says bills are fast tracked to benefit whatever agenda they're trying to push at the time.
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you a secret about bills that are fast tracked. They're fast tracked because the process has already been going on. Honestly, they can fast track something, but guess what? that bill is like 10 years old. So
Right.
what you think they're fast tracking is like, oh, like for example, the whole student loan thing. They think they can fast track that. They're not. You can't fast track it. There's absolutely no way to do it because the law is so involved.
All right.
Well, then that's why people don't believe that there's any consequence for what they do. Because by the time they find out that so-and-so had their donor bills or their campaign was paid by X, Y, and Z, and it was a foreign department or a government, the reality is that's why people are just taking their chances and say, well, I'll deal with the law later. And then if you make enough millions along the way, you can pay for the attorney stuff. And then by that time, people have forgotten about what the real reason and what was going on. The fact is, our government just has not been functioning. And that's why Trump was able to control it. It was so easy to control something that was not functioning, absolutely.
All right.
Here's
last comment.
Yeah, I'll say this.
We'll move
But
on.
here's my biggest issue is that people are so like, oh well, the founding fathers did this, but guess what? They're dead. They're dead.
Enough said.
We need to do something different.
All right, let's move on. Next conversation point. Deborah Burke's new book, Defending Her Time at the 45 White House. So those people who don't remember, Deborah Burke was one, I think was part of the President's
Collecting her pearls.
In regards to the...
She's known for her little scarves.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we say about Deborah Burke's and her book? Aisha, again, you seem to have something you want to say on this. Let's go for it.
Well, yeah, my whole thing was the explanations that she's been giving about why she didn't do more, or that I did do stuff behind the scenes. Okay, so why didn't you tell us then what you did? I'm so sick of all these people coming out with these books with these new revelations when in the thick of it they did absolutely nothing. Like that woman's a doctor, right? So she sat there, her butt nailed tight shut, and she's going through like, oh, okay, this is cringy, but doesn't say, hey, wait, people, no, this is wrong. Do not do that with bleach, because like they had a handful of people do it and actually die. We have Americans that are just so dumb. In a country with this low of an IQ score, we cannot just allow people to continue to spread their propaganda like that. And I think that she talked about the task force and all that other stuff. It's really a shame that she did not she didn't allow herself to be well, this is it, Fauci'd. You know what I mean? Dr. Fauci spoke at the risk of being terrorized by one political party. She instead kept her head down, kept her mouth closed until Donald Trump can no longer do anything to her.
Jill, anything you have to say about Deborah Burke's?
No, she doesn't deserve any of my time. None. I thought that era was gone.
I personally wish they would cancel her little book tour.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. That was short and sweet.
In honor of all the lives of people.
That's what I was thinking. Who died?
She shouldn't be making money on this. Right. All the people died, and she never set the record straight.
Honestly, like I said, she doesn't deserve
died.
The breath from our mouths talking.
Yeah, Donald Trump has blood on his hands. Well, she does too.
Right.
All right. As you can tell, Deborah Burke's is not a fan favorite with these two ladies. All right. Well, I think we're going to spend a few moments on a guy named Elon Musk. And did he have quite a week? First, he bought Twitter. He got people to lend him billions of dollars to buy Twitter.
45.
45. Then he says,
ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. And then he sold. Yeah. And then he sold. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he sold a lot of stock Two.
Tesla.
500,
Yes.
500 million, or I don't know.
Yeah, and that's why I was reading an article, and they said that the reason that he might actually pull out of the deal is
That's what
because
I'm thinking.
he's seeing how Tesla is dropping as this Twitter stuff goes on, and if he's leveraging his ownership in Tesla, which is his real money maker, it's going to be a loss to him.
Yeah, they just had a bunch of cars returned.
Mm-hmm.
And then also don't forget Bill Gates is messing with them. See, this is the rich messing with each other. He was accusing, Musk was accusing him of shorting his stock. So if this deal ever gets done, it'll be done in October. But right now it's still like he could get that 45 billion and do something else entirely, because that's how Elon Musk is. He may have just figured out a grift of how to get that money for whatever else he's going to do. I mean, that's what's so funny to me. He may not buy it at all. He may, because they've already breached part of whatever the terms were. He already breached things by saying something disparagingly against Twitter and blah, 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 and about the deal. So I don't know.
Well, you know what's funny to me, though, is that he's going through all these things talking about free speech. I'm doing it because of free speech. And then the one time somebody clowns him, he's like, I don't want them. Stop talking to me.
Well, remember what he did to his own whistleblower from his own company. He didn't want them to have any free speech.
Well, he wants free speech for himself and his comrades. He don't want it for anybody else. It's kind of like freedom. Some Americans want it for themselves, but not for those people.
Right. Exactly. And it won't be for comrades who say anything against him. That's the interesting thing.
And do not be surprised if you end up paying $17 a month to be on Twitter. Because that's what, if he buys it, he is going to monetize it. That's what happens when a company goes from,
because he's now in the business of publishing, and that's what he's doing. This isn't about free speech at all. It's about the business of publishing.
You're right, and that's scary.
I have said a couple years ago that I thought they should charge for Twitter. I think it would change the whole thing about it. And it sucks for some people, but the climate would definitely be a little bit different. And I just really would love to see the people who are so like Elon sitting back chewing their cud when they have to cough up $20 a month for it, or 17.
But they will. You see how they donate to Trump.
Yeah, I don't know if they will. There are some that just really won't be able to do that and won't see the point.
But
they really won't. They won't have that much to say.
Look, the things people will do to own the libs.
Yeah, that's true. There might be an organization that will try to pay for it, but
Super PAC.
I don't know if how that's going to fare. I'm not even 100% that he'll actually end up doing it. But if he can, it's more, to me, it would make more sense to buy it just to go into the publishing sector and owning more content and control that definitely will last in perpetuity. I could see that, a lot more. It makes more sense than to just own a platform for freedom of speech. It's like for 44 billion or 45 billion when you're also trading your shit off to try to afford it. That seems a little crazy.
But he wouldn't be able to trade. He goes
exactly, and then
that's
he's at this moment he's like doing crazy things, like talking about people on Wellbutrin.
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
But here is the biggest problem with this whole thing and this notion of him buying Twitter. This man is going to be able to control how we receive information, because most people get their information nowadays from social media. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be able to just control how we get the information. He's going to be able to control what information we get.
Well, that's where the government should come in and start regulating it. And that's where they're not. Congress is doing nothing. And also there is something that's supposed to be regulating the fucking information.
And also his stock in Tesla plummeted like 13 points since he made that, and it's still going down. So I think,
can he design another style for the car? I mean, that design is so old now. It's like, dude, get it together. This man spends more time online doing like Trump, and it's getting to him. It's eating him up just like it did Trump, because the reality is, don't you have some kids you can go play ball with, volleyball, take them out for some ice cream? Because He's got about what, 8 kids? Somebody's got to want to do something with
Where
their
does he
dad.
even live?
Girl, I don't even know, but it's like he's got way too much time on his hands. And
Does he live in the United States?
Yes. He's in Austin, actually, because his girlfriend was looking for somebody to do her manicure the other day who did gel nails. That's the life they have.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm. That alien looking chick he goes out with.
No, keep your eye on him, because I think he's trying to sneak in there.
He's got a new grift.
No, I think he's trying to sneak in there the way that Trump did to become a politician. That's what I think.
Maybe, but how? I don't know. He was born in South Africa. He could never become president here.
No, but he could become a senator.
He could,
or a governor.
He could, but they need to, unfortunately, they allowed a South African from a very racist country to come here and pretend that he gives a damn about people. And people have short memories. I mean, people believe everything they're told. This is not from a very cool person.
So
Sorry.
Tiffany,
and the same with Jeff Bezos. I don't care how many times Kim Kardashian and her dumb boyfriend go and have dinner with Jeff Bezos. Why would you surround yourself with people who treats their employees like machines and dehumanizes them? That says everything I need to know about celebrities these days. And all they care about, Elon Musk, Bezos, and all of them are more powerful than the president of the United States. And Putin is not 100% wrong in the aspect of just being a cold-blooded killer. And the reason for that is because he knows it's the only thing that will get him the respect. If he allowed everybody to act the way we do in America, they'd be worshiping a fucking soup bowl if it could give them something here, a golden money or whatever. That's how dumb and how deranged our country has become. They weren't wrong about how to destroy Americans. They actually worship people who vote and do things against the American citizens' interests. How crazy is that? It's like somebody says, we're going to take you all and put you through into a machine and turn you into food. And they're all like, I'm coming. Hang on. I'll be right there. That's what these guys have power over people. It's like, go online, sell your children, go out and, exploit everything you own to make money online. Pimp yourselves, pimp your kids, pimp your granny who's on her deathbed. That's crazy. And we do it. And we totally do it in this country. They were consumers. Now it's all consumerism and capitalism at its worst. And it will destroy I think it's already destroyed America, to be honest. I don't think there's any hope.
One day we need to have the conversation about calling South Africans African American, because that was something that came up with Elon Musk also. We'll have to have a show on that one.
Well, I'm not African American. I'm Black. I've stopped saying African American. Yeah. When did my mom come from Africa? Now, I have ancestors who did, but don't try to diminish me and my family's causes in this country with some hyphenated term. No.
So just want to interrupt here. Tiffany D says, and it seems funny to have all this going on right before the next election, and everyone knows 45 wants to run again. Tiffany also agrees with Jill, and Tridan Open says facts. So
is that my friend Tiffany?
I don't know. Maybe she'll identify herself in the chat. She's watching us live on the Dr. Vibe.
Because she and I talked about it today, and her middle name has a D.
Maybe it is. So let's go. Let's keep on going the Elon Musk highway, saying that Wellbutrin should be taken off market.
He's not a doctor. Shut the fuck up.
Now
why would you even open your mouth to say that? Wellbutrin is one of the things is that with that pill is that either you tolerate it or you don't. I didn't like what it did to me personally. It was just weird, really weird stuff, because it's one of those things where you can have hallucinations.
Shouldn't he be on medication? He said that Wellbutrin was not as bad as Adderall. Yeah. And that's a lie. That is a lie, because what did he just go and invest in Adderall? See, this man says stuff to get people to do things. I don't know who he you know, I don't know. I think these are code. It's speaking in code. There is, if you think that this is a rational conversation, it's not. It's from a meeting, it's from some venture. There is something here with Adderall and Wellbutrin. I don't know who the people who
No,
work
I
there
mean,
or what it is.
but here's the thing. It's a misunderstanding because it can't be a competition between which pill or anything like that because Wellbutrin is a mood stabilizer and Adderall is a speed. They do opposite things, you know. So it's like, why would you say? Why would you even tell people to not take that and to take
He
Adderall?
said that it makes people want to commit suicide. That's what he said.
Guess
And I
what?
think
That's
that
the
is
risk
a
with every
very,
psychotropic drug.
yeah, but
That is
I
that is what
believe that the pharmaceutical company should take issue with that because I find it to be a little bit, yeah, we know what the black boxes say about everything. They have it on absolutely, you know, even if you take certain skin creams, they have it in the black box that if this makes you feel like you know, see your doctor or whatever, that it's very, very interesting that he's going down this road. And we'll see what it means because now he's just planting seeds like Donald Trump. Now he's actually become Donald Trump.
Maybe he wants.
okay. Well, you know,
Okay, so let's just a quick,
no, just one thing about this is that what he said was, and this is for anyone who doesn't know. When I got out of graduate school, I became a licensed therapist. So the problem that I have is that he made this false equivalency between Wellbutrin and Adderall. Do you know what would happen to a person who should be taking Wellbutrin taking Adderall? It that's going that's even more dangerous because you're taking someone who's already like nervous and hyper, and then you're giving them something that's going to make them nervous and hyper. It's like
He's not talking that way. What he's getting at is how people are using it in the street. Prescriptions that are not the way Adderall's being taken and the way it's prescribed are totally different things. And that goes for Wellbutrin as well. And I believe that's where he's actually delving in because the age group of friends that he seems to hang out with are like 20-year-olds. They are not taking Wellbutrin the way it's supposed to be taken or Adderall. That's for damn sure. People who take Adderall tend to be in the high percentage of they abuse it and they're taking it wrong. And we know that. We know that with Wellbutrin, that it's that people misuse and they're abusing their meds. Elon Musk can't even have sex with a woman who's over the age of 25 or 29. What? I think his wife, the girlfriend tapped out at 30 now, and he's probably on to something else that's 19 or 20. But the truth of the matter is, no, for real. It's like he speaks as if he's hanging out with a bunch of high school kids. That's what's so crazy. And people take him seriously.
well, see,
And he gets off on Reddit posts, which are like children sometimes commenting to him.
like I said,
he's a Cancerian man.
Made a comment.
I can't stand them too much.
He said Wellbutrin was better than Adderall. The problem that bothers me, which would have to do with my ethics as a
he said Wellbutrin should be taken off the market.
Right, but then he made another comment in saying that Adderall was a better substitute.
Look, can we just cut to the me and you were talking about this back and forth. This is a man who declared that he was on the spectrum. Let's just hope that bitch is taking his medication.
But I want to make sure that our audience gets this message though, Jill.
Clearly not. He's not on any
not
of
that it. No, not that message. The message I'm saying is that people will die if they are taking Wellbutrin and are given Adderall. That's the problem. That is the problem. He's advocating for people. The way people are taking it is that he's advocating for them to go off their Wellbutrin, and that is dangerous. And then
I don't know what he's advocating for, but these people advocated for people not to get, to not wear masks either. So it's not like we're looking with someone who's a true brain trust here. It's like some days I think he just has done some drugs himself and wakes up and just starts tweeting. It's like he's got scrambled eggs for breakfast.
Okay.
He totally, it does feel like, he just says whatever he wants to be provocative. He thought AOC was saying something about him. And it was like, this isn't even about you.
But my like I said, my worry is for people taking that advice.
All right. So
it's prescribed for a reason.
So let me just interrupt. So Aisha, it is Tiffany D says it's me.
Hi, Tiffany.
And
nice kisses for me.
And third eye open equals 3. Okay, so that should okay. I will. He says, yeah, and they say Elon self-medicates.
I'm sure.
And Tiffany says, yeah, because they're fighting against each other.
Let me tell you something about Tiffany, right? Tiffany is one of my closest friends. I was Tiffany's professor.
Oh,
there
wow.
We go. All right. Cinema Canella says, well said, Jill. 45 showed how to play the game. Cinnamon also says, yes, we're on RX and away has been taken millennials. I don't understand that.
That's the
way the RX is taken. They're not taking it.
They're the generation of like the pill parties, dump a whole bunch of
it's
pills.
It's not even that. I knew people that I worked with at corporate, and when they go into meetings, they're taking their Adderall. You can see it, and you can see them working if they have a deadline. That's what this whole work environment was creating. If somebody had a deadline, they'd go, I'm going to take an Adderall. I would hear them, the young people saying it, and they would be over there busy as beavers working, and they'd
it was overprescribed in the 90s.
And,
really was.
But I'm talking just a few still at this day and age, and they still do it. I think the pandemic slowed it down a little where people are not under that amount of pressure, but bad bosses, I'm going to say, allow that under their watch by making unreasonable demands on their staff. And this is how we end up where we are. Unreasonable demands on people and having people work for peanuts. That's how you get employees who take Adderall to work and then take something else to calm down from it, which would be a Wellbutrin, which would kind of chill you out. And that's dangerous.
We know what the grift is here is that like you look back at the 90s and they were over prescribing Adderall to kids. What a lot of parents found out
Ritalin.
But what a lot of parents found out was that if they ask to have their kids put on those things, they get access to special services within the school district, and that gives them an access to money.
Right.
And that's a huge problem.
Aside from what these people's livers are going to look like by the time they're 39 or 40, it's scary.
Now, the AOC thing, what the hell is going on?
Okay, hold on. Well, let's get to so yes, AOC time. So now, and also, Elon said to AOC, "Stop hitting on me," after she posted a scathing tweet about
Zuckerberg.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So what happened with this? Now I heard about this and I'm going, what the heck is going on? These two can't have better things to do.
But why is she pulled
wasn't going back and forth. She wasn't going back and forth with him like that. She was making a statement
on her page in her own world. He's the one who.
And about because I think she's comparing it to something else, but we can't solve student loans or something, or
we can't get housing, we can't feed people.
Exactly.
That's if you think, because he had just said that the left believe in they're the extremists. So with him saying that the left were the extremists, she's the left who want people to eat, the left who wants to help people survive in the middle of the pandemic. She just gave a very, very fair question here, because Elon just says some craziness. And, this is a simple-minded rich person who sits back. I don't even think he likes the right all that much, but can you imagine how he just must laugh his ass off at everything he can say? And he looks at all those ass lickers of his online who just do anything he says. Go buy this stock, go buy that. That's not a natural place for somebody to have any kind of power. It's just not. So he clowns everybody and says things that are unreasonable, provocative, and make no sense. And guess what? Tomorrow he'll say something different.
But you know what, though? This is as creepy to me as Ted Cruz sliding into Stacey Abrams' emails or DMs. It's like just like it gives me that old man kind of like.
I got that vibe too. I got the vibe that, you see, I'm telling you, I got a vibe that he's coming for AOC because you there's a couple reasons, and I don't think it's to be her adversary. I
No,
just really think, I think he's just kind of gross. I'm telling you.
yeah, but it's like Uncle Chess, Uncle Chester, the child molester. That's the kind of creepy feeling
Ouch.
I got about it. It's like, she wasn't hitting on you. Why are you bringing this to her
Well,
attention?
because
Why
people
are you?
project.
No, but why is he even stalking her?
She's a stunning woman, but he
Stupid.
also slept with a woman who shit on Johnny Depp's bed. I mean, it's like, yo, that's gross.
Okay.
I mean, everybody had heard about that. He didn't care. He's still right there. So that's he's kind of perverted, right? Maybe that's what you're picking up on, the perversion.
There seems like there's this sexual undercurrent
For
to
his
it.
attempt, yeah, because there is a way that he's awkward as well. He has no empathy, and yeah, he's trying to be cute. That's the funny thing. This dude thinks he's trying to be cute,
And he's on the spectrum.
cute. And he's on the spectrum.
And so it comes off even more
Bizarre.
creepy.
Yeah. Now, if she wanted to get in his pocketbook and crank out 2 babies, which seems to be how most of the girls do it with him, it wouldn't be difficult
I think that
for our little Alexandria to make a killing and call it a day afterwards.
I mean, what I got from that was that he was trying to make like some kind of invitation to a date, or like, you know what I mean?
I think he's trying to be cute, because even if he didn't think it was about him and knew it was Mark Zuckerberg and being like, I'm too shy, it's just like he's trying to get himself on her radar. So if whoever is his woman, whoever is Elon Musk's woman, you need to check him and his DMs, because it looks like he's bored with you. Your man has some eyes on something else right now. And we're going to be seeing a lot of this, because that's what fame begets, fame and notoriety begets this type of bullshit.
So do you
But
think...
wait, this
Go
is
ahead,
the irony
go
of
ahead.
this is the irony of him also saying that she said a billionaire with an ego problem, and his ego was so big that he thought she was talking about him.
Yeah, he was already there.
Right.
Because he's the number 1 billionaire. There can only be one. And been like, oh, okay, well, he needs to come up with a name or something like, I'm the number 1 billionaire. Yeah, but that's how it was. Nobody else exists. No other billionaires exist. That's why they're all trying to fight to get to be the trillionaires, guys. That's what this game is about. Rich folks, these rich nerds. I told you there was a reason God made nerds, and we should have left them all.
Did we even
stop idolizing nerds? It really will do our whole. They don't know how to handle social norms and social things. They're actually really fucked up by the time they get into power positions.
But while we're on this ego issue, did we talk last week about the whole Kevin McCarthy thing?
Yeah, we talked about him, I think, for a little bit, right?
Yes, we have talked about it before.
Because it's the same kind of thinking that he has. Like it's like he's his ego is so big that he can't admit to being wrong.
But
even when there's a tape.
Is there something about bullying here?
When he went out on all...
To a degree, yes, of course.
What do you think is going to happen when he buys it? The bullying on Twitter, you think it's bad now? Look, because the truth is, the reason Donald Trump's social media site didn't work well is because they got in there and found out that they don't like to talk to each other. They want to be able to,
fight people
and troll and all that stuff.
So let me ask, if Elon Musk makes Twitter totally free speech, will you two still stay on it?
Oh, I'm always down to fight. If I get to
I know that.
free speech, if I get to do it, Oh yeah,
Make
I'll
folks,
be there.
make sure you're following Jill now because the best is yet to come.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
my blocking game is real strong, so.
Well, that's another thing. Will he allow things to be blocked?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh, that is the question. Will he allow you to block people?
That's okay. It's all off. Gloves off.
Okay.
Yep,
So
it's off.
so
Panties are out the drawer.
Tila
Uh-huh.
says AOC is not interested. Tilo's AOC is not interested in E. Musk. Who would want Musk as their married name?
I know,
LOL.
right?
He looks like he
Seriously.
smells like bologna. Because every time I always see him, he's sweating, and bologna looks all rubbery, and
I
that
don't
he has that
know.
look.
I do think he probably smells rich. There's a rich smell.
You mean
But
like what the Ben and Jerry kind of rich smell
there's just a rich
back
smell.
in the
It's
days?
so weird,
Back in the
right?
day,
But
like the
I
hippie era, the
I
natural
feel
smell.
like yeah, because they but he probably doesn't use it. He
Mm-mm.
doesn't. If you notice, in the last couple of days, the pictures coming out, he's a little bit more put together. So something's getting to him. He's not as scruffy as he used to be. So there's an aim and there's something he's shooting for here. And I can't, and that's why I'm not 100% that it's solely Twitter, but I do know that they're all moving into the publishing sector because the fight between all the billionaires now is about content.
Content.
That's it.
But you know what
They're
though?
all fighting for it to be the king of it. So hang on to your hats.
But he's got a vested interest in letting Donald Trump back on Twitter.
Of course, it's going to drive the stock price up.
Well, no, it's no.
What's private though? That's right, it's private. So that's another thing
It's
altogether.
this one fact that the more he gives permissions to Donald Trump, the more Donald Trump will become loyal to him, just like he is to Putin. And Elon Musk will be running the country if
He'll be
if
running the
Trump is
world
elected. That's the
because
problem.
it's he could. That's where this is because people have always they go for the person with the most money.
Of course.
But taking away somebody's money is not difficult, as we can see that with Putin and his missing oligarchs, 5 of them killed. I don't know what happens to their money. Does it go to their family members or does Putin and the country get it? So people can take your money from you, but the main thing you want after this money thing would be ultimately power.
Influence.
And
Influence.
Yeah.
The influence is the key. Influence. So just catching up here. Tiffany D says that's scary. More jobs. Content is king. More jobs also says first time you've been with us. More jobs. You're on some of my other conversations. I know you're on my morning vibe on Monday and Friday mornings, saying freedom of speech on social media will only last a New York minute. A great way to place a social media channel ahead of the rest. All right, there we go.
But that's the thing, it will be so only in America and certain countries, but it won't be like that in Western countries.
Oh no, it won't.
I mean, in
China,
like Europe,
China,
but in Europe, it won't be like that because they still, everybody seems to think that America is its own world, and it is to a degree. But places like France, Germany, all of those places they've always been a proponent of privacy and hate speech. So that still, if you're over there, that will not exist. They will stop that, and I'm sure that will not change. So they're only talking about the destruction and the See, here's the thing: Putin didn't even have to send a freaking missile to blow up America to destroy us. He's got Elon Musk doing it with everything that's going on. They don't have to. They're destroying the country, and a rocket, a nuclear missile won't even be as destructive as what will happen until Elon Musk takes over Twitter. If they let it go to the point of this free speech, because it'll get dark.
Well, that's what China
We're talking
is
about
threatening.
people giving out people's addresses. We're talking about all of these things being revealed about people. And you want to open up that barn door, that Pandora's box, be my guest. But you're talking about stalkers who have been banned for good reason. There's a lot that can go wrong. So I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But it'll only be in America. All the rest of the countries that I know
but
don't even
China. No, China actually said that they would block Twitter if it became too free of a place.
Well,
of course they will.
more jobs are saying Team Elon will be running for president shortly.
He can't. He's not a naturally born citizen.
He can't. Yeah, no, he's
That's the law.
All right.
unless he decides to buy it, unless they change it for him.
Hey, everything's for sale.
Guess who else shouldn't be able to run for president? Ted Cruz.
Oh God, no! They need to send him back to Canada and then back to Cuba from there.
All right. Last conversation piece. The WNBA starts next week. How will the Phoenix Mercury do without Brittany Griner in the paint or block? What are we ever going to see Brittany Griner again?
Well, her wife actually made a statement after Reed got released, and she
yes, there was a release of that prisoner last week, or that American last week exchanged for Russian. Yes.
The irony I want to point out is that the person that they requested had been charged with drug trafficking, and Brittany Griner got the identical charge. And that guy is like really popular because I forgot what it was that he did, but he was like really popular in the country. I think that Russia had at one point probably.
He didn't do anything. They actually said that he was out at a club with his girlfriend and got into some fights, and he didn't. They couldn't present any footage to back it up. They just decided to hold him. He went there to visit his Russian girlfriend, and that's what they said actually happened. And so he's been held, and it looks like he's got tuberculosis and everything else is wrong with him. Yeah, Brittany is going to be in bad shape if she has to stay as long as he stayed.
Well, I was reading that she is in contact with her manager as regularly as she can be. But here's the thing: the season starts next week. I'm really, really excited. It's kind of like, it's kind of sad she's not going to be there. My favorite team is Phoenix Mercury. I mean, she's the center. She's the tallest on the team, and she does well with her scoring when she's in the paint, right by the basket, and always, she's very good at getting passes and up and things that, there's things that they need. And it's kind of like, how's this new starting five lineup going to look? They have been able to make a trade for Tina Charles, who's almost as tall as Brittany, because they need a big person, a tall person on the team. But also to just the whole thing, the team's gone through so much this year. It's like they lost.
She shouldn't have been there. I'm going to keep saying that. People, young people don't seem to understand the nuances, and that is something that it's great to have, like, biracial and loving kids that are like, oh, we love the world, or even all of our Black kids, whatever, that it's peace, love, and kumbaya. It's not out in the world. The most disservice you could do to your kid is to not let them know that there's a possibility of somebody never looking at you the way, your family or your people in your neighborhood or community do. This is really serious, because this was being talked about, that this invasion was going to happen in Ukraine, and she chose to fly over there. And it's just like, have a checklist, have something, because it's, can you imagine how much money we actually paid to get Trevor out? I mean, let's be honest.
No, he was exchanged for another prisoner.
He was exchanged, but then if they're not looking for an exchange for Brittany, then they're looking for money. And if that's money, then we're fucked, because we have sanctions. Clearly, something wasn't what they asked, because he went to try to there's another guy and her and a couple other people. That was the only doable thing. But it's a problem because she's too valuable.
But here's the thing is, like, the way Russia is, you can't make the assumption that the charges actually are, what they're saying. You can't be sure of that, because they have one of those other guys for similar charges, and he's like, no, I didn't have anything.
So I've got a question. What's going to happen first? Ukraine surrendering or
No,
Brittany Griner getting released?
Ukraine is not going to surrender.
No, Ukraine's not going to surrender. She has a May 19th court date.
That her court date is going to be dependent upon that May 9th date that Putin and everybody have been talking about, that NATO is having some meetings. That's contingent on that. I don't think Brittany's going to be out for a while.
Well, I want to say this too, because two things can be true.
Unfortunately.
Look, because two things can be true at the same time. Really, it is embarrassing how they pay the women compared to how they pay the men when the same league owns the W.
But they don't have the asses in the seats. I know people.
No, they actually do, Jill. Did you watch the playoffs? In Chicago was packed.
It's not consistent, Aisha. It is not. And it's not even about the league. It's the advertisers. They're not that interested in the women for some reason. And, that unfortunately is the way it is. It's always been that way. And it's just because it's a demographic that serves a certain particular type. And for some reason, it isn't as broad. There aren't enough women like you who are supporting it. But there are a few. The soccer team was the most successful soccer team we've ever had of women. It actually outdid the men's soccer team. So they definitely had every right to ask for even more money than the men were getting. That was a legitimate argument. They had asses in the seat here. I know that, and traveling. People wanted to see Mia and all those girls. But the WNBA, that's not an excuse for, there's just wartime protocol. There's just stuff that, like, get out of the clouds. Get off your freaking phone. There's a war coming, and you decided to go play for a team in Russia. It was getting dicey. And everybody who you pay as a percentage, your agents and your lawyers, you need to hold them accountable when you get your ass out. That should never have happened. And don't go into a place where you don't have connections to ever get out, like an ambassador. I'll tell you why. When I needed to fly somewhere very fast one time, and they literally got my passport in an hour, and I was on the plane.
Wow.
I knew people. It was done in those days. Brittany and these young girls and these kids coming out here, when you're signed with these agencies and stuff, this is crazy. You need people that have some access. That's the phone call you make to an Elon Musk and say, can you get us out? That's what people, if they're really upset about Brittany Griner right now, more than anything, would say, do you think you could do something to help her? Like, that's when you go to the most powerful people that you know. This is when they're useful. But I'm sorry. Girlfriends talking, don't make her seem that valuable. But they've already blown it up. Russia will hold on to her. They've held on to that other poor guy, and they don't think he's going to make it. He's 53 years old, and he really may not.
But again, like I said, two things can be true. What they even start the women off with is shameful, considering someone who, actually, was it last year? Yeah, last year, a member of the NBA, he was benched the whole season. He signed a contract to just bench the whole season, paid $12 million. Females going into the W, starting out, are like at 50,000. There is no base rate for men, and so they also set their collective bargaining agreement they have a salary cap. Their salary cap.
I get it, but we freaking had to deal with poor what's his face Kaepernick, who did something really great for his sport and just finally got a gig. I mean, it takes time to move these things along. I know it's terrible that the women are being paid so little, but let's not conflate it all, because there is something to be said for it. It's just not the timing right now. And is it going to be another thing that is on our plate to deal with? This is really crazy what's happening. We're giving away so much money to Ukraine, and then we're going to be putting sanctions on oligarchs And then we're going to be trying to get her ass out of jail. And it's like, oh my God, if I were Russia, I would be asking for a lot of money or military equipment. If you want her, this is what you'll have. Or what criminal can I get back? Do you guys even have any, since America never arrests anybody? There's nobody of value that even equates to her stature here, really, that they want. Putin's already killed 5 oligarchs, or they've mysteriously died within the last 2 months. This is more than meets the eye, and it's a lot to ask for. It's really scary because I feel for her, but I don't know how they're going to do it. There's only so, and I don't think that the Biden administration should be held to task because they can't. Because I was talking to a friend of mine today who made a comment that said they don't like to. Now that all the league is like legal, weed is legalized out here in California and everything, they actually said, "Wow, it's so much stronger than getting it from the weed guy." And I was like, "Really?" Since I don't do any of that, I was like, "Well, why?
It is, yeah.
Why is that?" And he said, because the THC is so concentrated and it's very, because it's now being generated and created and manufactured in a specific way that wasn't being done in the way, like your weed man was doing. And, he was like,
it's
I
the
do
grade
like
that they use for cancer patients.
And he goes, and I feel zonked. He goes, I don't want to smoke weed and feel zonked where I can't drive my car. And so the reality is, if she showed up, and that resin amount is concentrated. Now, it might have been a normal if she really did have her vape pen. But if it's that concentrated and it just went beyond the chart of what Russia allows, or a dog could sense it, damn, that's fucked. That is a big problem too. People in America have to worry about flying into those places that aren't legal yet here. Something we all have to worry about.
But I mean, this is my point, though. We can't assume that she did what they're saying she did. Remember, the only reporting coming out about it is coming from Russia. We can't trust Russia on other stuff, but we're gonna trust them on this? That doesn't make sense.
That's true, but we can't assume. I don't know.
My concern is you're playing with fire going over there.
I agree. It was too
but these are the things
understand.
with these contracts, is that when they do these long-term contracts overseas, if they're contracted to do something, if they pull out, they will end up paying more than what the contract is worth to end it.
Got it. Fully get it. But I think freedom is, well, that's a whole other conversation. Maybe we'll pick it up.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah. Tiffany D says, I can see both sides. Yeah, it's I fully understand both. Fully get it. Ladies, another epic conversation's done.
Yep.
How you do it every week? My gosh. And you're going to do it now once a week for exclusive content? Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, as always, I'd like to say thank you for both of you for taking your time to share with us again. And as we do, we'd like to do our roll call at the end. So if people want to get a hold of Jill Jones, how do they do that?
Jill D. Jones on Twitter. And then Jill Jones Music on Instagram. You can find me there.
Aisha K. Staggers time?
Oh. Aisha Staggers on Twitter.
Wonderful. Fantastic. And if people want to get a hold of the shiny head here, the drvibeshow.com, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, Facebook, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram, The Dr. Vibe Show, Twitter, Dr. Vibe Show, drvibeshow. Like to say thank you, as always, to everyone who came and check out the epic conversation tonight. Tiffany D says, I enjoy this. I will see you guys next week. Fantastic. Subscribe to the whatever platform you're watching this live on. Also, Tila says Jill's Instagram stories are fire.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. And always, Jen Myers, great conversation as always. Thank you, Jen Myers. Thank you as always. So as I keep on saying, folks, if you want to catch replays of this, the best place to catch them is on my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel, preferably YouTube. And YouTube, just go to the DR, well, the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Just put in the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube or the Dr. Vibe Facebook. You'll get there. Or also you can go to my website, the drvibeshow.com. As always, we want to finish off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, if you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace. And we always say these days, and for some reason people like when I say this to them, remember, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. We will catch you live next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Set on your schedule. Just, you're going to be there. And thanks everyone who's watching on the replay also. God bless, peace well, keep the faith, and walk good.